Hello, my guitar addict friends! In my last video, I talked about discussing the vintage V100AFD Paradise, which is Vintage Brands models take on the Slash model. But I was surfing around on Reverb and I found the Epiphone equivalent of that for a pretty good price, which is the Epiphone / Les Paul Standard, and this one's the Appetite Burst. This one comes with the hard shell case, but I decided, hey, let's do a comparison again. Another vintage versus Epiphone Les Paul comparison. These do kind of fall kind of roughly in the same price bracket. So if you're looking for the Slash model on kind of a budget, not real budget like the Epiphone Special 2 Slash model that comes with like a starters pack, but something slightly better, you're probably going to come across these two. The vintage V100AFD Paradise in the US, it's kind of hard to pin down the pricing because it's really a UK company. Kind of in the 600 to 650 maybe with inflation price range. In the UK, it's crazy. It's like you can get this for like 300 to 350 pounds, maybe even less. Maybe my UK friends can chime in. Over here, this one comes at first retailed for $999, right? And then they dropped it down to $799 recently, but I have seen it at Guitar Center in-store sale. Kind of different from the regular sale. You actually have to go into a Guitar Center to see their in-store sales, but I've seen it for $499 right at Guitar Center last summer, fallish, somewhere around there. So you can get this for a pretty good deal. So the Epiphone also comes in different colors, of course. It comes in like a gold top, which they call Victoria, and a kind of a crimson red, which is called the Vermilion Burst, and the Anaconda Burst, which is kind of a reptile green, and the November Burst, which is kind of a more traditional iced tea, tobacco burst kind of color. So these two, very comparable as far as if you're looking for a Slash style Les Paul. So let's take a dive and take a look into both of these and see which one may be the Slash for you. So both models are based on the, actually it's a Gibson copy created by the late luthier Chris Derrig that Slash played on the Appetite for Destruction album, the Guns N' Roses debut. So they both have their own versions of the amber flame top and the uncovered zebra pickups and the gold knobs and the creamish white binding and the trapezoid inlays, of course, and the bound fretboard and kind of these classic white tulip plastic style tuners. Both are hefty guitars. I would say they weigh between 8 and 9 pounds, maybe closer to 9. Maybe the vintage is slightly lighter than the Epiphone, but they're definitely about the same when I lift them up. So first things first, the Epiphone does come with a hard shell case, but the vintage does not. Has the nice Scully Slash logo there. And of course, Gibson Epiphone has the proper licensing with Slash. Inside is a nice kind of maroon plush interior, and it does come with extra strap locks, so you can rock the same look as Slash. The top of the Appetite Burst of the Epiphone can come in various hues and some variances in the pattern. But if there's a default look, I would say it's generally this yellow look with the subtle flames. Cool vintage style metal markers on the knobs. Your standard metric Epiphone style bridge. And these zebra pickups are custom Pro Buckers, which are kind of different from the regular Pro Buckers. We'll look at that. Cool vintage colored off-color toggle switch. And the standard Epiphone Indian Laurel fretboard, and of course the Slash's signature on the truss rod cover and the Kalamazoo style headstock. The vintage V100AFD has a more pronounced tiger flame to the top. It actually reminds me of the Boneyard, the Joe Perry signature guitar. It has an interesting ABR1 style thin post with thumb wheel style bridge, which I think is Wilkinson. And these Wilkinson branded zebra style pickups. Really crazy patterns on this. It does come with these locking strap locks pre-mounted. This one has rosewood fretboard, but there are some that have lignum rosa, it's called, which was used during the rosewood restriction years. Paradise on the truss rod cover, hinting at Paradise City, the Guns N' Roses song, and the wavy style vintage headstock. The back sides feature more of the wood grain pattern, and the Epiphone, of course, uses the red that they've been using on a lot of their Les Pauls on the back side. It looks like a two-piece construction on this Epiphone. Even though it says / custom neck profile, it's pretty much a 1959 neck profile. Same as my Lazarus and Greenie. Cool / Scully logo on the back, and we see that this is the 2023 model and that it uses Epiphone Deluxe tuners. Looking at the back of the vintage V100AFD, and I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4 sections. Actually on the top here you can really see the 4 sections. Kind of interesting, not that that's bad. And the high fret access heel cut and a very 60s style neck profile, I would say. Almost identical to the Epiphone 60s style neck profile. Wilkinson Deluxe tuners, and this is the 2021 version made in China. The ye old multimeter test. Here we have 8.4K at the bridge, and we have 4.0 in the middle position, and then in the neck pickup we have 7.8. So the bridge pickup of the V100AFD is showing 14K, which is kind of odd. The vintage spec sheet shows that the vintage V100AFD is supposed to have the WVHZ double coil pickups classic, which is an Alnico 5 with 8.2K reading at the bridge. But I think I have a Wilkinson MWHZ Hot Zebra pickup in there, which is supposed to be a 14K read. So I'm not sure what happened there. I guess maybe they ran out of the classic styles in the factory and they just decided to throw in the Hot Zebras in there. I'm not sure. 4.5 at the middle position, and then at the bridge position it's 6.7, which is well within the regular classic one. So 4.5, not sure what is going on with the 14K read here. Pulling out the pickups didn't really tell me much. There's no sticker or any kind of serial number on the Wilkinson pickups, so not sure what they are. But looking inside the neck pickup cavity, we see a very nice long neck tenon and a very solid, nice looking maple cap and veneer. Very nice, solid, clean construction of the V100. Back to the Epiphone / model, and here we have the custom ProBucker out, and we see the PBC on the sticker, so that says ProBucker Custom, which is different from the regular ProBucker 2 or ProBucker 3. Has a nice braided coaxial shielding, and don't quote me on this, but apparently it's wound a bit hotter, so you kind of get a more hard rock Guns N' Roses / sound. But the most curious thing is, where is the long neck tenon? As far as I know, the 1959s have it, my Greenie has it, and my Lazarus has the long neck tenon. So what is going on here? You know, side by side with the Lazarus here, you know, they're exactly the same. The same body, same neck shape. So I'm not sure why Epiphone bothers to create another body without a long neck tenon. Is it a cost-cutting measure? I have no idea. Here inside the back of the electronics of the Epiphone, we see the CTS pots and the giant orange caps. And here we have the connectors, right? The quick connect, a nice braided cable. And over here we see, I believe this is a Switchcraft. I should have checked the specs, but it's solid, very solid. So I believe it is a Switchcraft. All the perks that we expect from the new inspired by Gibson line of Epiphones. Cheap, no name, overseas electronics inside the vintage V100. All easily changeable, of course, but you know, be nice to have nice electronics like the Epiphone. I don't even know what brand that is. I thought they'd be Alpha Pots, but they have this strange kind of symbol on them. Green button capacitors and messy shield paint. Okay, I'm plugging directly into a Blackstar HT Stage 60 MK2 for this next sound test, mic'd with a Sennheiser E609 mic. Same settings for both guitars, of course, using the gain channel with the gain setting about halfway, a bit of reverb to give it dimension, and that's really about it. And I didn't really bother with any clean tone examples because, you know, we're talking about / rock and roll. Both sets of pickups sound pretty similar to my ears. There's some subtle differences in there, but you can tell that both sets of pickups are aiming for the same kind of sound. So let me know what you think. Maybe you hear something different, or maybe you get some different results from your own Slash Les Pauls. Alright, so which Slash Les Paul do I prefer? Well, to be honest, I'm having a difficult time deciding right now. I initially made this video with the idea that I would be able to come to a conclusion on which one I preferred, because I really don't need two Slash Les Pauls. I really don't need another Les Paul, to be honest. But if I were to make a decision on which one to keep and which one to sell, perhaps, I'm having a little bit of a difficult time deciding. I'm torn. You know, both these guitars play great. Both these guitars, you know, I have had no fretwork issues, nothing like that. So as far as fit and build goes, both of them, you know, pass with flying colors. I prefer the pickups maybe on the Epiphone one just a little bit compared to the vintage one, but you know, to be honest, I felt better playing this one today compared to this one today. The other day, you know, I was having a grand old time with this one, but for some reason, you know, that's how it goes. For some reason, I was really having a grand old time playing this one today. So those are the kind of things that make it difficult to determine, right? And also, this one, I think the top on it is slightly cooler, right? It has this nice, cool, bold tiger pattern, whereas this one's really kind of a take it or leave it top. You know, it's very yellow from afar, and you have to get up pretty close to see, you know, the nice wood grain and stuff on it. And as far as I can tell, this is a yellow guitar from about 10 feet away. If I were to make a recommendation, I think I would, you know, if somebody came up to me and say I'm looking for a Slash budget guitar, I would go with the Epiphone Slash. If you're a fan, you know, it has all the Slash trimmings on it, has a Slash signature on the truss rod cover. You get the case with the Scully, and the backside also has the Scully. So, you know, this one really gives you kind of that slashy feel, whereas this one, you know, it kind of, as I mentioned before, kind of almost looks like the Joe Perry, the Boneyard guitar. Whoops, there he goes. But the Boneyard guitar, right? You can even change the pickups, make them, you know, chrome, and then make your own Boneyard with this. But both guitars, really, you don't have to be a Slash fan to like either guitars. Both are rockin' Les Pauls, and, you know, to be honest, you can't go wrong with both. Thanks for dropping by as always. Hopefully somebody out there got some good info out of this. I certainly learned some odd things. I'm not sure what I'm going to do next, but I'm certain it'll be concerning another irresponsible purchase of some sort. But until then, keep your action low and your fingers flying.